Hey guys, what's up? It's Breezy, and welcome back to Midnight Witch. We left off last time going back in time, going forward in time. All I know is that all my friends are dead, and I don't know if there's a way to save them. Yeah.
Who said today's youth don't know how to behave?
Wait, I can't do this without my stress ball. Stress ball. A heavy silence reigns over the room. All students are immersed in terrifying apprehension, their brains unable to make the connection between the series of totally inconceivable events that have just occurred. Exactly like the first time. Surprise, denial, anguish. The trifecta. Is that how you spell trifecta? No. What? No. It is... I just started this video. Why am I already having issues? The Triptych of Terror. Undoubtedly, I'm the only one who ever remembers past events. For the rest of the class, this is Evelyn's very first appearance. I bury my head in my arms and close my eyes. Please make it stop. Give me my life back. My simple, boring life. My little everyday life as an average student. Save me. Save us. Please, 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 please. Evelyn speaks again in a playful tone that makes me flinch.
Before we resume class.
Evelyn sits down on the desk as if nothing has happened. As if the loop of her very first appearance had never stopped. Even though the students have no memory of that first loop. Except me. As if she were teaching for me.
I need to ask you some questions to assess your current level.
She probes the room with her eyes, stopping here and there, and a few students who are nearly passing out.
You, in the back. You already tried to help me, so I'm going to ask a very easy question.
I turn to the follow trajectory of Evelyn's gaze. She's addressing Wes. He has no memory of the first loop, only I know what Evelyn is referring to. His betrayal, his filthy betrayal. And Evelyn wants to reward him. By killing him? It doesn't make sense. Evelyn systematically kills the person she asks a question to. How is she granting him a privilege by interrogating him? Clearly, Wes is not one of those who are supposed to survive. The famous model students, if they even exist.
If you had to kill someone in this room, who would you pick?
What? This has nothing to do with the class. What the hell is this? This is nothing like the first loop.
I want to live.
Evelyn wiggles her delicate finger in front of her.
No, you're not answering the question.
There's no point in trying to act smart. She wants blood. She will have blood. What if Wes decided to pick her? Would she submit to her own rules? No way. She'd probably kill the insane by accusing him of cheating. What a filthy trash. Breezy! The word echoes around the room for a few moments. Did he just point at me? I abruptly turned to Wes. You trash. What are you doing?
I had no choice. It was either you or me.
Traitor in the first loop, coward in the second. Either way, he wanted me dead. That filthy trash. Evelyn claps her hands happily.
Breezy, I see you didn't befriend everyone.
She holds out a long, slender finger in our direction, and two long daggers coming out of nowhere suddenly hit the table between us.
Now, let's get this started.
My stun gaze alternates between Evelyn and Wes. Evelyn doesn't want to kill us herself anymore. She wants us to do it for her. Sadism takes to the extreme. Evelyn, F you. I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye of Wes scrambling for the daggers, but he only manages to pull one off the table. You piece of sh**. I roar as I try to land a blow to his head that he manages to dodge. Off balance, I topple forward and nearly cut my right side with the edge of the blade still stuck in the table. Wes gazes at me with an evil look. Convinced of his easy victory, he raises his weapon high.
Sorry, nothing personal.
In a surprising survival reflex buried somewhere deep inside me, I managed to roll off the table just in time to dodge the blade, which comes down hard and hits the wooden desk with a thud. That bastard. He's really trying to kill me. I grab the handle of the dagger aimed at me and swing back with all my weight to dodge another deadly blow from Wes. I managed to pull the dagger off the table, but by doing so, throwing myself already in precarious balance. I clumsily tried to restore my center of gravity by staggering backwards, but I end up stumbling on one of the steps. The world slips away from me as my body rolls down the steps to the center stage. When the world finally comes to a stop around me, I suppress a stabbing nausea and try to catch my breath. It's a small miracle that I didn't break my neck in that fall. I come to my senses in time to notice Wes running down the stairs, his dagger in hand. A demented look has taken over his face. Ah! I awkwardly straighten up and haphazardly raise my right hand, which is still miraculously holding the dagger to ward off Wes's coming blow. I was sure I had dropped it when I fell. Wes's blade ricochets off mine and skids across my forearm, leaving a long red gash. Ah! I drop on one knee to the ground under the force of the impact. I won! I try to compress the pain without screaming, but it feels like my right arm has no strength left. Shit. With a rush of adrenaline, I throw my dagger towards Wes's face. To my surprise, the trajectory is perfect. The blade goes with a surgical precision toward Wes's right eye. Instant death incoming. Shut up! I punctuate my renewed confidence with a bravado remark that I immediately regret. In a surprisingly agile move, Wes twists himself and manages to avoid the deadly projectile. Panic overtakes me. I'm completely unarmed and as a result, helpless. What an idiot.
You're pathetic, Breezy.
Wes stands before me, a demented grin on his face. I turn my head towards Evelyn, in the vain and naive hope of finding some comfort. Her almond-shaped eyes ignore me completely and remain focused on Wes. With an enigmatic smile on her lips, she seems very amused by the situation.
Everyone has always made fun of me. You first. Nobody cares about Wes. Wes, Dan's faithful minion. The one who crawls beside him in hopes of being exposed to the light for a moment. Look at him. He's pathetic.
My brain is trying to think fast. I have to try to buy some time and get him to talk since he seems very eager to get this off of his chest.
It must hurt so much to lose to someone like me, huh?
If I can make him keep talking, maybe he'll let his guard down enough.
You're the one looking up at me now, and I'm looking down at you. You have no idea what this means to me.
My right arm is weakened by my injury, but all would have to do is run into him with all my weight. It should knock him to the ground.
You're the trash now. Me, I'm on the winning side.
The main risk is that he doesn't drop his dagger in the fall. If he manages to stab me while I'm running at him, it's game over for me.
I'm the winner, and you're the loser, but we're both stuck in hell. Either way, I'm screwed, just like you.
Wes throws an unexpected kick at me. I raise my left arm at the last moment to keep my jaw from absorbing the damage. I crashed into the desk with a thud and let out a grunt of pain. Shit, I fell on my right arm. The long gash that stretches across my forearm triggers a wave of searing pain throughout my right side.
Where's the justice in that, huh? You're going to die, and I'm going to die too, right? We're all doomed, right? That witch is going to kill us all, right? So what the f*** do I care about winning against a piece of shit like you? I'm gonna die too.
Another kick, this time it's my stomach. Ow.
I don't give a shit, you understand? I don't give a shit about winning if I'm gonna die.
Oh my god. Future Breezy, I am sorry for all this beep I'm gonna have to do for this.
Justice, revenge, I don't give a f***. I just want to survive.
I curl up my body in anticipation for another blow.
I just want to survive. But we're in hell here, and no one comes back from hell.
Wes throws a series of random kicks at me, more to vent his anger than to actually hurt me.
I win, you lose, you die, I die.
What's the difference? Tell me. My arms manage to absorb most of his blows, but the pain that runs through my body prevents me from considering any counterattack. Answer me! What difference does it make to me? The kicks finally stop. Breathing hard, I try to focus on my aching body. My right arm continues to hurt, but the wound doesn't bleed enough to be a real danger. As for the rest of my body, nothing seems to be broken. Really sore, but nothing broken.
Right, Evelyn? What difference does it make after all?
I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye of Evelyn, whose attention remains entirely on Wes. Her smile slowly widens, but she keeps complete silence.
We're in hell after all, right? There's no way to escape from here?
Evelyn gently runs her tongue over her lips as if to better savor this surreal moment.
And yet, I have the dagger. I hold the power now.
Wes stares at the dagger for a moment, then sets his crazy eyes on me.
You think you have a chance of surviving, right?
He then turns to Evelyn.
You think I'm going to be your little puppet, right? That I'll slaughter Breezy and then you can kill me?
Evelyn lets out a little crystalline laugh as if the remark were a pleasant joke at a cocktail party.
You know, Breezy, people say there's nowhere to run in hell, but I know.
Wes crouches down next to me, his dagger screwed into his right hand.
I know how to do it. I know how to get out of it.
Wes plunges his dagger into his abdomen. The stunned shock takes my breath away as a few drops of blood splash in my face.
I know how. I know.
Wes continues to stab himself over and over again.
I know.
A final stab gets the better of him. Wes collapses next to me, the blade still stuck in his gaping abdomen, which spills an impressive amount of blood on the floor. Evelyn bursts into laughter and claps with both hands. Wonderful! Bravo! What a finale! I playfully straighten up, holding my right arm. I said playfully. Painfully. I'm alive. Wes killed himself. He had everything to kill me. I was doomed. But he's dead. And I'm alive? I didn't expect anything from someone like Wes, but he really exceeded my wildest expectations. Evelyn walks up to me and whispers a few words in my ear. Congratulations, Breezy. You're the winner. You can go back to your seat now. Man, after all that, I need a little juice. As if moved by an invisible force, my body begins to walk up the stairs with a slow, uneven step. Thoughts race through my jumbled mind, but one keeps popping up insistently. I am alive. I'm still alive, thanks to Wes. Wes the traitor, Wes the coward. To the end, he still ran away, even if it meant sparing me. As I finally sit down in my seat, I have a violent coughing fit. A taste of blood appears in my mouth. Wes saved me. His cowardice saved me. I am alive, for now. Breezy? I wipe away a small trickle of blood that runs down my lips. I look up feverishly at the perfectly smiling Evelyn as if the class had never stopped. As if the situation was the most natural thing in the world. Since you won, the next question is for you. My eyes bead with tears, bed with tears. She feeds on our distress, on our despair. She maintains the peaks of hope that animate us punctually to better break them eventually. Don't worry, it's a very easy question. Easy, like what she asked Wes? I believe you're a good friend of the two twins in front of you. They look very similar, but I'm sure they're very different from each other. Zoe and Chloe suddenly turn to me, their faces livid. Indeed, they look so much alike. So, which one do you like better? I let out a nervous laugh. So that's her little game now. She asks us to designate the condemned ourselves, according to the criteria established by her alone. The conclusion is the same. She kills the bad students by forcing other bad students to get their hands dirty. That probably means I'm a bad student, that I'm doomed. You do have a little preference, right? Look how cute they are, looking at you with their big, desperate eyes. Isn't it exhilarating, wielding such power? Breezy, please save Chloe. Pick her. Zoe. To tell the truth, they are perfectly identical. Eyes full with tears, distress in their eyes, arched eyebrows, trembling lips. Emma's best friends, twin sisters who do absolutely everything together. To me, they are almost one and the same. Shit. Evelyn, no doubt she will kill me if I refuse to answer. A life for a life. Me, or one of them. This is a very interesting question. What's really bad, can I look at history? Breezy, please save Chloe, pick her. Chloe said Zoe. So Zoe wants me to save Chloe. So pick Chloe. I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick. So I can either say F you, Evelyn, don't pick either, but I feel like this entire game has been based off of like playing by the game, playing the rules. If you don't play the rules, then you die. Because I feel like if I pick Zoe, Chloe will be pissed at me in the future and maybe she'll make a decision, or I can just kill myself. I can't take it anymore. I can't stand being a puppet in Evelyn's morbid game anymore. Maybe Wes was right. Maybe a chosen death is better after all. I suppressed a delusion smile. If someone had told me that I would one day agree with that filthy traitor Wes, if I'm going to die, I might as well go all in. You, Evelyn. I slam both my fists on the table with all my might. A new wave of pain invades my right arm. I refuse to be a part of your sadistic little game. F you. My gosh, I'm going to have to bleep out so much. Evelyn adopts a subtly rumpled look and walks up to the stairs in my direction. Well, there's no need to be vulgar. As she approaches me, a finger pointed in my direction, I feel an increasingly unbearable tension gradually descend upon my shoulders. Arriving at my level, Evelyn contemplates me with a knowing smile. The supernatural tension that afflicts me is such that my chest ends up falling against the table. What the? Is it the pain that makes you so acerbic? She presses her index finger to my open wound. A searing wave of pain suddenly spreads throughout my body. Ah! The pain disappears as suddenly as it appeared. In front of me, Evelyn is licking her index finger covered in my blood. You have very sweet blood. Out of breath, I barely managed to sit upright in my seat. The disparity in force is indisputable. Any direct resistance against Evelyn is futile. Nevertheless, I'm still alive. Against all expectations, she spared me. Why did she spare me? Why me? Does she have special plans for me? Is that why I'm the only one who has retained my memories? Or are we all just trapped in parallel dimensions? Is she torturing us all individually without us even being aware of each other's ordeal? Why is she doing all this? Why? Whereas I'm about to open my mouth to spell out my hatred, Evelyn gives me a wink and brings a finger to her mouth to incite me to silence. A searing pain, even more excruciating, invades every cell in my body. Ah! The pain is so great that I'm unable to scream. Only a drawn-out moan escapes my lips. The sensation of torture miraculously ebbs after a few seconds and leaves me slumped on the table again, panting. Clearly, she doesn't want to be interrupted. Chloe? Chloe looks like she's about to faint, her eyes wide, focused on Evelyn. Who do you think Breezy likes better, your sister or you? As Chloe's face looks like it's about to burst into tears, her features suddenly morph into a cruel caricature. Me! It's me! He likes me best! Zoe stares at her sister with a completely stunned look. Chloe? Shut up! Kill her! I'm the one Breezy likes best. Zoe looks devastated, betrayed by her own twin sister. I try to open my mouth to protest, but the searing pain immediately reappears. Evelyn looks at me with a sneer as if to mock my helplessness. Kill Miss Perfect. She spends her time taking everyone down to make herself feel superior. She doesn't do anything with me her whole life. That's why Breezy likes me best. Kill her. Zoe bursts into tears. Chloe, do you really mean what you just said? Shut up! You deserve everything that's happened to you. Your abortion was all your fault. Zoe gasped in surprise.
It was you? The rumor?
A mirthless laugh escaped Chloe's lips.
You spend your time feeling sorry for yourself every time you do something stupid, while you're always the one responsible for your own misfortune. This time, you'll finally have something real to complain about.
Evelyn's cruel smile widened.
Well, if you say Breezy likes you best, in that case...
Evelyn waves her right hand nonchalantly, and Zoe suddenly collapsed to the ground, struck full force by a new dagger out of nowhere. What? Dude, Chloe? Chloe. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep you. Beep you, Chloe. Beep you, Chloe. The violence of the impact throws a few sprays of blood all around her lifeless body. She probably died on the spot. Chloe burst into a demented laugh. I stare at Chloe's manic face in disgust. I never would have imagined they seemed so close. How could Chloe do this to their own twin sister? I can barely see Zoe's dead body, but I don't dare lean forward to see her face. She died immediately after realizing her sister's betrayal. The last thing she felt, the deception, the pain, the betrayal. Her last thoughts were tainted by her sister. Her own sister who confessed everything to her when she was sentenced to death. The worst betrayal, the worst death. I clench my fists and feel the tears running down my cheeks, soiled by sweat, dust, and blood. Again, I curse my own weakness, my inability to do anything. Our inability to do anything. Do I go back in time? I have it saved at that decision. Do we want to see what happens if I choose otherwise? Because I'm feeling kind of... I don't know. I'm at this point right now. Like, I love playing games all the way through, not changing anything, and like letting whatever happens happen. But then at the same time, I hate Chloe. Chloe turns to me, her features still contorted with unhealthy joy.
It was her or me, and she deserved it. Don't you dare lecturing me. You did the exact same thing with Wes. I don't remember you sacrificing yourself so he could survive. Actually, it's the opposite. You owe a debt to a dead man.
Wes was not my brother.
Shut up, Breezy. You don't know what it's like growing up in the shadow of your twin, to be nothing but a pale copy, a permanent disappointment to all the people who prefer your sister.
Chloe's face becomes harsher, wilder.
You don't know what it's like to have the people you love systematically call you by your sister's name, as if you don't exist.
Like they'd rather be your sister than you. Chloe seems out of breath. The resentment built over the years shows on her still incredibly pale face. So what? We all have our problems, and Zoe had hers as...
Shut up. You try to act all high and mighty when you know nothing about what I've been through.
You would have sacrificed yourself to save Zoe. I barely suppressed a gagging fit. That has nothing to do with it. I don't...
Then how come I'm talking to you and not Emma or Wes or Dan?
Huh? How do you explain that? You filthy hypocrite. I remain flabbergasted by Chloe's words. This is just completely unrelated. Even though I did fail to protect them, I was the only one who remembered, and yet I failed to change anything. I was satisfied with illusionary happiness, naive. I let my guard down and did nothing to save them. They were doomed the moment I let them set foot in this room again.
We all have our problems, as you say, so deal with yours and keep your bullshit moral principles to yourself.
The short silence is quickly broken by Evelyn's lilting voice.
Well, Breezy, looks like I don't need your answer anymore. You obviously preferred Zoe.
What?
What?
Chloe looks at Evelyn with a startled expression.
No, I won. She's the one who died.
A long dagger pierced through Chloe, identical to the one that killed Zoe in the same spot, the same way, with the same sound. Chloe collapses to the ground in perfect symmetry to her sister. The two identical handles on the magical dagger stand proudly, deeply planted in the flesh of their victims, like a morbid reminder of Evelyn's omnipotence. omnipotence. An atrocious sense of nausea spreads my entrails. Why, Zoe? Evelyn, you had it all planned. I don't know. For a second, I was like, who was talking? Evelyn, you had it all planned. Why did you kill Zoe when it was Chloe who was targeted? I try to squeeze the blood that roars in my temples. It is Chloe who deserved. Did she deserve to die? Is it as simple as that? Evelyn's voice echoes in my skull, but her lips remain still. How does it feel to watch the people you know die around you? Totally helpless. An insidious feeling of unease washes over me. The voice in my head as if it's penetrating directly every single neuron I possess. Evelyn. Evelyn gazes down at the two corpses with a satisfied look on her face as she gently strokes her collar, oblivious to the husky voice. Without a word, she walks back down to the stairs toward the painting with a cheerful expression. Well, I believe we can resume class now. I count on you to listen carefully and take notes. There will be more questions later. The atmosphere of paralysis that had gripped the room gradually dissipates. The few horrified cries that echo in the room are quickly muffled for fear of retaliation. The unmistakable sound of computer keyboards resumes its ballot as Evelyn begins to write on the board. I think it's time for another fundamental sociology topic. Revenge! Evelyn begins to recite her lecture without the slightest hesitation, just like in the previous loop, as if the previous loop had never been interrupted. The students are all deathly pale and try to ignore the dead bodies around them as they focus on their note-taking. My temples are still aching. I turn my head to Dan's lifeless body and begin to cry softly. All the death, all the horror. It's not over. It's still not over. We're going forward in time. Giddy up. I remember. A while ago. Yes. At least we win titles, not like the suckers from the soccer team. And those guys have 10 times more budget than us, even though they don't shit during competitions. They don't do shit during competitions. That's so unfair. Last year, the university even paid for their flight to play abroad. The infamous competition of shame. They didn't even play a single game. They were too drunk to show up. And meanwhile, we're actually win things, and they barely cover our bus ticket. Hey, Zoe, Chloe. Hello? Hi. I've been looking all over for you. I heard something big. The athletic office is finally going to fund our trip in December. No! No way. They'll send you to the official confirmation. Zoe, but I got from a reliable source. Seriously? We're going to the... Why can't I talk? I took a break and I can't talk. Seriously? We're really going to the regionals? Wait, how can you be so sure? The office told me the results wouldn't come in until next week. Well, the thing is, my older brother has a friend who works for the swimming federation. He's involved in organizing our regional meet, and he told me that our university would be participating. We're getting all the meals covered, and we get to sleep right in the sports center next to the Olympic pool. Mark, that's fantastic. Mark, you're awesome. I can't believe it. We're going to swim in front of so many people. That's so stressful. Right, Chloe? Yeah, for sure. We need to train even more. With you two on the team, I'm not even scared. Just last year, you guys deserved so much to be picked for the regionals. Just thinking about it makes me so pissed. Yeah, it was a close one. I mean, you did such a perfect dive. You were a full second ahead of everyone else at the start. That should have been enough for them to send you to regionals. Oh, actually, that was me. Oh, right, sorry. Chloe is great at diving too. No, Zoe's the best. That's why she's the team captain. But you're so great too. I mean, both of you always swim amazing races. No pressure, but the whole team is counting on you. You better train hard too. Yeah, we're counting on the whole team as well. Ah, no chance. This is so out of my league. But I can be your team assistant, just like the pros. Careful. I want warm towels every time I get out of the pool. Mark, you're so adorable. Shit, the bell. Gotta go to class. See ya. Bye. See ya. Ugh. Okay, so we do see the little shadow going on. He still has class this late in the afternoon? Yeah, his schedule really sucks. Mark is such a nice guy. Too bad he's pretty bad at swimming. You're so mean. He's improved a lot recently. Yes, but he's nowhere near regionals level. He said so himself. I guess. But it's actually a good thing for you. That way he'll have more time to admire you when you're swimming. Stop it. You're the one he's always trying to impress. Don't worry. He knows very well that I'm out of his league. It would be super weird for the team captain to date an average swimmer like him. But you can totally date him. I hate this conversation right now. Ooh. Ugh. Besides, I can never steal my beloved sister's crush. He's not my crush. Come on, it's so obvious. That's not true. Oh, Mark, you're so adorable. Doesn't sound like my voice at all. Hi, Mark. Can you please help me with my swimsuit? Stop. I don't talk like that. You can easily score once you lift the trophy. It will give you some extra motivation to train hard. I'm counting on you to help me. The whole team is counting on me. I guess that's part of the downside of being the best. Look, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick and then we head home. Okay, I'll wait for you. We'll work on a plan for you to score with Mark. You guys will be together by the end of the year, I promise. I never said I was interested. He's so lucky you're interested in him. A guy like him could barely dream of dating a girl like you. Well, he's very nice and pretty good looking. There's a lot of girls interested in him, you know? Of course, that's not what I meant. I meant he's definitely kind of popular. You guys would make a great couple. Yeah, I guess so. I'll make sure you guys become a couple. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you. And you wait for me too, dear sis, because one day I'll make you pay. Ugh. 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 Wait. Oh, wait. Okay, why did it show Hydra? Because now I'm really confused. Because if you don't remember, in the choices I made during the Hydra quiz or whatever, I pretty much said like I would do everything right, but then at the very end, I would announce all the bad doings. And that's kind of what just happened. So I don't know if that's connected. I hear a barely audible mumble. I open my tear-reddened eyes and see that Evelyn is still writing on the board, busy reciting her lecture in a very animated voice. Breezy, stop crying. We need to talk. I slowly turn toward the whispering that has become more insistent right behind me. Jessica. Breezy, get a hold of yourself. Jessica stares at me with her big amber eyes, her face hard. Leave me alone. Jessica sighs slightly and her features soften. Look, you don't have to feel guilty. Her question was a false pretext. Your answer would have changed absolutely nothing. I reply in a hoarse breath. That's not true. I'm sure I should have. Stop beating yourself up. You couldn't have changed anything. That witch, she did exactly what she intended to do. She just wanted to kill. She wanted to give you the illusion of a choice to better traumatize you, but the conclusion was written all along. I stare at Jessica blankly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter after all. Students die one by one. That's the only reality that matters. I have the hiccups. We are next on the list. Like animals at the slaughterhouse, we wait patiently for our turn, immersed in applicable collective anguish. Jessica shakes my shoulder. Breezy, focus. We need to find a way out of here. It feels like we had the same discussion forever ago, during the first loop. You seem to know more than anyone. You already knew who Evelyn was this morning, as if you knew she was a witch. A few tears blurred my vision slightly. I knew her, and yet I couldn't do anything to protect anyone. And now everyone is trapped. Again. Jessica stares at me inquisitively. You already knew. You knew her? I look at Jessica with a totally helpless look, helpless. I couldn't do anything. Jessica gazed softened as she placed her hand on my shoulder.
Breezy, please, you have to tell me everything you know. It may be the key to getting us out of here alive.
With my throat in knots, I take Jessica's hand and squeeze it with all my might. I don't even know where to begin, but I need to share my burden with someone. It only took me a few minutes to tell Jessica the first loop. The repetition, the discordant signals, the return of Evelyn, the return of horror. Jessica listened patiently without interruption, only raising a surprised eyebrow here and there. I thought I would have had a hard time relating the events without bursting into tears, but after I started the story, the words just came pouring out. Naturally, as if I had been waiting forever to finally get it off my chest.
I'm not gonna lie, your story sounds completely insane, but it's not like we're in a very normal situation.
Maybe Wes is right. Maybe we're just in hell and this is our punishment.
Yeah, let's put aside the purgatory delusions for now. The only certainty is that we're trapped with a witch who's capable of killing anyone, anytime. From what you told me, we're already managed to kill her once by taking her by surprise.
Jessica shakes her head. You have no idea how disturbing it is to have no memory of the actions you're supposed to have performed. I smile weakly. Yeah, you're really unlucky not to remember the slaughter of half of the class. Jessica sighs.
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
Her eyes swivel to Evelyn, still busy writing on the board.
In any case, I find your theory quite coherent. She targets the bad students. The only problem is that we don't know if there really are any good students.
In other words, we don't know if there will actually be any survivors left in the end, and I don't intend to find out. Look at her with a stunned face.
How can you say that? Emma's dead, and Dan, and even Zoe.
Jessica puts her hand in front of her in a palpitating gesture.
Wait, try to look at it from the witch's point of view. According to her completely twisted morals. Emma cheated on you, so she was punished. Dan tried to kill her, so he disrupted the class and did those who tried to run away or refused to return to their seats. As for Zoe, I think Evelyn was targeting both twins. Zoe because she spent her time taking her sister down.
That's what Chloe said to save her skin. She was the one who betrayed her sister.
I know. I'm not saying she deserved to die. Again, try to think like the witch. She wanted to kill Chloe too because she's the one who started the rumor.
What rumor? Jessica plunges her cat-eye-like eyes into mine.
It doesn't surprise me that Emma never told you about it, considering how close she was with Zoe.
See Matt's dead body over there? I refuse to turn my head and gaze at another corpse, but nonetheless. Matt, one of the victims from the first loot. The one who had been accused of having...
You told me that after he died, everyone was talking about the rumor about him. That he had pressured one of his one-night stands into having an abortion.
Don't tell me that.
That girl was Zoe. Apparently, he completely freaked out when he found out she was pregnant, and he pulled incredible pressure on her to abort the baby. She was actually planning to keep the child, but apparently he threatened to ruin her life if she did that.
He probably would refuse to acknowledge his paternity and therefore his duties to the kid. I looked at Jessica with a look of both awe and puzzlement.
Jessica, how do you know all this?
I'm trying to piece together bits and pieces of information. It's all rumors. Nothing is certain. But given how oddly specific Evelyn's questions to Matt was, there's probably some truth to it. What is certain is that Zoe ended up having an abortion. Given Chloe's reaction before she died, she knew about it, and I can't imagine Emma not being aware as well.
Zoe had an abortion.
Well, I'm not sure Emma would have told me spontaneously.
Zoe absolutely wanted to keep it a secret, which is easy to understand.
Ditto for Matt, who was known for his one-night stands. But the information leaked and the rumor spread widely. No one knew for sure who the girl was, but Zoe was among the potential candidates. I was well aware that Zoe had slept with Matt at a party everybody knew. It was widely rumored, a bright girl like Zoe with a flirt like Matt, everyone talked about it. But she even got pregnant?
Zoe tried to find the person responsible for the rumor, someone who wanted to harm her. As you can guess, I was one of the first suspects. But it didn't last long. Zoe found another scapegoat more satisfactory than me. Or at least, easier to bully.
Indeed, I don't see who would dare to oppose Jessica head on.
But actually, it was Chloe who was behind it. She just wanted to smear her sister.
Out of revenge. Out of cowardice.
Never mind the reasons. Evelyn doesn't seem to care about such details.
I end up nodding slowly. Evelyn only cares about seeing us die. Still, it doesn't make any sense. Even if Emma had an unsavory past, why would she die so quickly? How do you explain the fact that she's dead while others are still alive? People like me, you mean? Wait, that's not what I said. But you obviously meant it. Look, believe it or not, but I don't think I've done anything particularly punishable by Evelyn's standards. I'm not perfect by any means, and that's also why most girls hate me, but... Jessica smiles with a delusioned air. Most girls like to drag me through the mud, but I guarantee you I've never stolen anyone's boyfriend or cheated on anyone for that matter. To tell you the truth, I've actually always been the one to get... Jessica pauses, her cheeks suddenly rosy. Anyway, all that to say, I'm probably doomed, but I'm not that surprised I'm still alive. For now. The problem is what you told me about Evelyn's change in method from the first loop. She seems to want to give the students some semblance of choice in order to take the level of sadism up a notch, with no concern for collateral damage. What do you mean? Look at Wes. She let him choose who to fight to the death with, and it fell on you. Still, she didn't really want you dead, not right away at least. And you're still alive, while the twins are both dead. If she wanted to target you and Wes, she would have found an excuse to have you both killed at the end of the duel, no matter what. A new migraine washed over me. Why does everything have to be so complicated? As you figured out, I'm not exactly on good terms with the other girls. Far from it. So, if Evelyn decides to ask a girl to pick someone, let's say my time is fast approaching. Yeah, if your theory is correct, then yeah, I guess. Assuming her theory is indeed correct, but there's no clear evidence that my theory is correct. It's very possible that Evelyn actually targets her victims randomly, depending on her mood in the moment. Maybe there are no good students. Maybe we're all doomed. I shake my head in resignation. It's a certainty. We are doomed. You, me, the others, everyone. Could be, indeed. But all the more reason to try something. Jessica, I've had this discussion with you before, and Dan during the first loop. It cost us Dan life, and what did we get in return? Evelyn didn't die, the day started over, and Dan... My voice began to tremble slightly. Dan is dead for good, for nothing. Jessica's silent for a moment. Breezy, I understand how hard it must have been for you to go through all of this the first time, but you really need to get it through your head that this is the first time for me. Jessica places her hand on my uninjured arm. You said it before, we're doomed. So we might as well try something to get out of this, even if the chances are slim. We can't just sit back and wait for Evelyn to come and kill us off one by one. You know that. Dan would have said the exact same thing. He did say the exact same thing. And you're forgetting a crucial asset you didn't have the first loop. Common sense. Experience. I call it common sense. Think about it. Thanks to your memories, we know we can harm her. You've already done it. By sacrificing Dan. Maybe, but that means she's still vulnerable. If that were really the case, then I wouldn't be stuck here in the second loop. So, you could rest in your cozy little bed while we're all dying in this loop? Damn it. Jessica, you know exactly what I meant. Right, sorry. Your most important memory is that medallion thing. I gave her a slightly disillusioned look. You lost your favorite medallion? Jessica smacks the back of my head exactly as she would have done with Dan. Evelyn's medallion, you idiot. You told me it kept glowing even after she was dead. A few concerned looks turn our way at Jessica's abrupt exclamation. I glance in panic in the direction of the board. Evelyn continues to write on a completely word-filled board, pausing here and there to explain a technical term. Keep your voice down. Jessica seems upset but leans forward a little more towards me. We were talking about Evelyn's medallion. The medallion. The striking medallion that seems to have a will of its own, which always glows with an unhealthy blue glow. Right, her medallion. You said it still seemed to be full of energy when she was stabbed. That insidious blue energy she uses every time she casts a spell, correct? Yeah, but you don't really think it would be that easy, do you? Just looking at her, it's impossible to imagine that she has just slaughtered half of the class. It does sound a bit too simple indeed, but do you notice that she always touches her medallion right after she uses her magic? I try to remember her every move. Her cruel smile after every kill, her sadistic laugh, her evanescent moves, her hand on her medallion. I remember clearly her hand caressing her medallion, her left hand. the one she uses to cast the majority of her spells. Or all of her spells. Did she ever use her right hand? I pressed my fist into my temple as if it was to calm the turmoil that is stirring them. The more I try to concentrate, the more my memories escape me. She did always touch her medallion. Is it as simple as that? Maybe it's not so strange after all. Wizards always use magic catalysts, don't they? Whether it's a staff, a grimoire, or a familiar... I giggle nervously.
Jessica,
We're just trying to translate fictional stories into reality. We're trying to fit squares into circles to convince ourselves. We're trying to fit squares into circles to convince ourselves. Why did I say that twice? Jessica smiles at me.
I didn't know about your insightful insight.
If I were really insightful, I would be able to find a better theory.
I agree with you. This theory seems a bit too forced. That being said, so was your theory about the consistency of the murders, and yet it happened to be true?
That's your opinion.
The fact that this is far from absurd, and that so far it still hasn't been explicitly disproven. Back to the medallion theory. Again, it's not totally absurd. You've seen her like I have. She keeps touching her medallion. I don't know what your first loop was like, but in this one, she didn't stop touching it. After every use of her magic. I paid even more attention to it because it was the thing that immediately stood out to me when I first saw Evelyn. This medallion, it looks like you said. It glows with an unhealthy glow, unnerving.
I can't deny the last point. That blue glow, I feel like it could be hypnotized forever if I immerse myself into it for too long. A light that is both fascinating and dangerous. I am drawn to it like a moth on a lamp that will eventually burn it out. You really think that this could be the source of her power? That breaking it would be enough to get rid of Evelyn for good? Jessica closes her eyes for a moment, then turns her head towards Evelyn.
I don't know. What I'm convinced is that this is physically killing her won't be enough. We have to try something more. And thanks to your expertise with the first loop, I feel like we're onto something regarding that little something more you were missing the first time. I don't know if it's the right lead, but it's the one that makes the most sense, given the clues you're able to gather. Jessica squeezes my hand while fixing Evelyn with a hate-filled stare. What is certain, however, is that we are running out of time. If we don't do nothing, our death will be certain. And I refuse to die like everyone else, torn between surprise and helplessness.
I'm even more immersed with Jessica's strength of mind than I was in the first loop. I always thought that she was a very confident girl, but to show such determination when facing imminent death is totally different. I'm with you, Jessica. I have very strong doubts about our theory, but I'll follow you. If we are going to be condemned, we might as well die with our heads held high. What a quote. I already gave up on everyone during the first loop. I let them take all the risks. I won't do it again. This time, I will fight. Jessica smiles softly at me, and her features soften completely.
Thank you, Breezy. We can do this together.
Galvanized by this renewed hope, I managed to calm the rush of blood to my temples. Well, now that we agree on this theory, how do we put it to practice? We have no choice but to physically kill her before we destroy her medallion. Doing the opposite would be far too risky. Jessica nods.
Right. And the other problem is that we can't use the same ruse that we did during the first loop.
Evelyn, too, has retained her memories at the first loop, very logically. She won't fall into the same trap twice, even without that West filth to warn her. We don't even have a weapon on hand. I pause as I notice a glow near her knees. A metallic glow with a strange bluish sheen.
While you were fighting with Wes, I picked up the dagger that was stabbed in Dan's back. Just in case.
A brilliant insight, I must say, even if it was at the cost of my life.
Are you sure Evelyn didn't... She was totally absorbed in your duel. You can believe me. So was the rest of class.
Except you, it seems.
Don't try to guilt me with that maudlin tone. Any opportunity is good to set up the next move.
Unlike me, she knows how to keep her head cool under any circumstance. Although I would have liked a little more empathy. I was this close to dying out there.
You think I'm cruel, don't you? Because I didn't sacrifice myself unnecessarily to come to your rescue? You know very well that Evelyn would have struck me down at the spot if I had come within 10 meters of you.
Jessica quickly embraces my shoulder.
Breezy, you know I care about you. I just tried to do the best I could with that little room I had. I promise you that I would have mourned your death just like I did for Dan.
I read real pain in her eyes. She and Dan have never dated, but they clearly had a bond more powerful than mere friendship, almost like brother and sister. Jessica, I miss Dan too, a lot. We'll do our best to avenge him. To avenge him by taking down that witch. Jessica nods slowly, her eyes fixed on Evelyn.
But for that, we absolutely have to come up with something that will really surprise her.
She gives me a long, hard look.
I don't know why, but she seems to have a special place for you. You're the only one who could keep your memories, and you're the only one who came out of your interactions with Evelyn alive, at least for now.
That's exactly what I told myself during the first loop. Except, Evelyn didn't lift a finger when I was about to be killed by Wes. He was the only one who saved me by killing himself, not Evelyn. She was ready to see me die, just like the others. If you think she's going to obey me nicely, if I ask her to give us the medallion?
No, of course not, but she doesn't give you some pretty special privileges anyway. You insulted her on several occasions and without retaliation from her. I really think she treats you differently. You can indulge in things we're not allowed to.
Like what?
I don't know, you can be more familiar with her.
I shake my head gently. Fair enough. Look, I'll try to ask her out on a date, but if she chops my head off in the process, promise me you'll try to take a piece of my body back to my mom, okay? Jessica smacks my skull again. This is becoming a habit.
Ow! Stop making noises. We'll get spotted by Evelyn.
You're the one... Jessica throws another blow at me, more powerful than the last one. Sorry.
Breezy, try to think of something that would surprise her. Something only you could do. I'll take care of finding an opening to stab her. In the meantime, you can shove your sarcasm up your...
Jessica pauses. She knows the dead silence in the room. I slowly turn the board while knowing full well the vision that awaits me. Evelyn, her usually falsely warm smile on her face, all eyes on us.
Well, I think it's high time we got back to some questions.
Shit.
That pretty girl in the back. Jessica, right?
I feel Jessica flinch slightly. We still have no plan. Evelyn slowly walks up the stairs in her direction with her regal steps, a toothy grin on her lips. She knows she's going to kill again. She's looking forward to it. A cruel smile, sadistic. Reaching her level just behind me, she leans slightly towards Jessica.
Students in the back always tend to chat during class.
Jessica remains petrified. Her brain is probably racing with an alternative plan. Any plan at all, even. Shit, Jessica's going to die. I have to try something. But what? Scream? Hit her in the face? Throw my laptop at her? Anything to surprise her. Something only I can do. Only me and Evelyn. I jump to my feet. Evelyn! Evelyn turns to me, a slightly surprised look on her face.
Breezy, you have to wait your turn. I'm already questioning.
Without hesitation, I wrap both arms around Evelyn and pull her close to me. I'm completely crazy. What was I thinking?
Breezy, what are you...
Against all odds, the mortal blow I was expecting never comes. Evelyn remains as if paralyzed by my gesture. Evelyn, I'm sorry. Evelyn weakly tightens both her arms against me. What the hell is this? She's supposed to kill me, right? So why am I seeing so much sadness in her eyes? This is unimaginable behavior. Makes absolutely no sense. Unless... Jessica appears right behind Evelyn, dagger brandished in the air. Jessica, wait! She doesn't wait. The dagger comes down Evelyn's neck several times, spraying a stream of dark blood around her. Evelyn keeps her gaze on me, a still sad look in her bloody face, as if she felt no pain, only sadness in the reaction to my gesture. As if holding her close to me was more meaningful than having a sharp dagger go into her jugular.
Breezy.
With the last breath, Evelyn speaks my name before collapsing to the floor. No spell, no horrified screams, just my name. Evelyn? I stare with dazed eyes at Evelyn's inert body as she completely bleeds to death. Was she trying to tell me something? Jessica brings me back to reality with force. Breezy, hurry, we have to destroy her medallion. Around us, the other students start to get agitated. She's dead. You killed her. It's a miracle. Is it over? Is it really over? Try to open the door. Are you crazy? Do you want to burn to death? She's dead. We're safe now. You bet. Go ahead then. I'm not taking the risk. Move over. Open the door. The voices of the survivors gradually rise in intensity as they move towards the door. Other than Jessica and I, there's no one left on this side of the room. No one else seems to care about Evelyn. Jessica grabs the medallion, which still grows with an almost palpable bluish energy, exactly like the last time. I can't get it off her neck. What? Let me try. No matter how hard I pull, the medallion refuses to go over Evelyn's bloody neck. That would mean that this medallion really has a magical power. Never mind. We'll hold on into place on her chest and we can destroy it. I feel like I'm totally clueless. A torrent of conflicting emotions is stirring inside me.
Breezy, wake up!
Try to hold it in place. I'm going to stab it with the dagger. Okay. With trembling hands, I pull the chain as if to immobilize a medallion on Evelyn's body.
On 3. 1, 2.
Jessica brings the dagger down on the medallion with deadly precision. A sound of shattering glass accompanies the impact, and the bluish glow disappears completely. My body freezes in the anticipation of a surge of magical energy escaping from the medallion, invading the entire room. But nothing comes. A triumphant clamor tells me that someone has finally volunteered to open the door successfully.
Get out! I want out! Let me through, please!
Jessica sits on the floor exhausted.
Is it over?
I nod, my eyes locked on Evelyn's blood-covered face.
I don't see a blue glow anymore.
With tears in her eyes, Jessica runs a hand through her hair.
We did it.
Yeah, I sure feel like it. I straighten up and extend my hand to Jessica to help her up. Come on, let's get out of here. There's no point in staying any longer. Jessica grabs my hand and follows me. I look back one last time at Evelyn's lifeless body. There's not a trace of magic left this time. Nothing but dead flesh. Evelyn, Emma, Dan, the twins. I don't know if we can really say we won. We survived, sure, but as far as who won, I look around completely empty and silent room. The omniscient corpses and blood mark the advent of the reign of death. The only winner? I suppress another bout of nausea and claps Jessica's hands in mine. Let's go. Jessica, her face still very pale, nods and follows me without a word. At the moment of crossing the threshold of the door, a shiver of anguish seizes me. It is here that Evelyn's voice had resounded in my head at the end of the first loop.
Are you satisfied with this conclusion?
Breezy, are you okay? I pause and take a step forward, my body contracting. Nothing. No voice out of nowhere, no residual magic, no evil laughter. Just the sweat oozing from my forehead and the dry blood on my arm. The smell of death flooding the entire room. This time, it's over for good. Without another glance, I drag Jessica outside to freedom. Is it over? I don't know. So a part of me almost is like wanting to choose the witch's side. I know that's messed up, but all these people are bad. The blue sky greets us with disarming nonchalance as if the outside world never acknowledged the horror we experienced. Most of the students have already left the school, probably returning to their loved ones to celebrate their survival. A few students in tears are sitting on the surrounding lawn, probably too shocked to go home right away. This nightmare will leave no one unscathed. I turn to Jessica, her face still very pale. What about now? Are we saved? I look up the bright blue sky. Last time I heard Evelyn's voice after she died, and the sky suddenly changed color, and I paused watching for any sign that Evelyn might be back. Apart from the chirping or carefree birds, no particular sound reaches me. The sky remains blue, and the sun continues to warm my sweat-soaked clothes. I think it's really over. Although I still don't understand why Evelyn... The last words hanging in the air as I meet Jessica's eyes again. A few tears gently trickle down her wet cheeks. Jessica, it's over. Jessica nods, her big eyes locked on me. Oh, what? Most naturally, our lips come together and we kiss. I open my eyes and see the tears are still rolling down her eyes. I don't know if we really feel love for each other. We are simply overcome by a wave of irrepressible happiness following the immense relief of having survived. Our will to live was stronger than Evelyn, stronger than death. There's no disrespect to any of the unfortunate people who have passed away. We're simply satisfying a primitive need for human warmth, for contact. In other words, we are using all of our senses to confirm that we are alive. After a long embrace, I gently run my hands through Jessica's amber hair and pull away from her lips slightly. Jessica shakes her head. Thank you, Breezy. I needed this. Terribly needed it. I smile softly at her. Yes, so did I. I can't find the words to express the torrent of emotions that run through me, and neither can Jessica, it seems. Our two foreheads glued together, we are crossed by a small, nervous laugh, punctuated by some tears. Joy and sadness move together like two lovers that everything opposes. I kiss her again, then raise my eyes to the sky. A slight shiver comes over me when I hear the whispers of wind reaching my ears, but I don't hear any voice or cruel laughter. Nothing but the usual laminate of breeze that slightly softens the feelings of warmth from the sun. The sun slowly begins its daily decline, which will last until dusk. The clock is ticking again. The loop is ended. I feel Jessica's hands gently caress my face.
Breezy, about all the
dead? Emma, Dan, everyone? I look down at Jessica and hold her a little closer to me. Jessica, I have absolutely no idea how to grieve. To grieve for all the people who've died for nothing. I'll probably be haunted by the memory of that nightmare for the rest of my life. It's a trauma that'll probably never heal. But that doesn't mean it can't be appeased through time, through feelings, through the power of life. Jessica nods silently, aware that she's also doomed to live carrying the weight of this terrifying memory. So over the next few days, I'd like for us to stay together, if that's okay with you. To grieve. And try not to move on together. Jessica offers me a shy smile.
Let's stay together, Breezy.
I raise my gaze to the sky again. I don't know how long it will take for me to grieve. I don't even know if I'll be able to really move on. But with Jessica, I'm less anxious about going entire nights without sleep. To have someone there for me during the inevitable night terrors that will afflict me. To be there myself to calm our own terrors. To simply be together.
Thank you, Breezy.
Jessica, I will take care of you, I promise. Jessica pulls herself on her toes and kisses me again. I welcome the touch of her strangely raspy lips as if, no. No. I immediately push Jessica's putrefied body away. No! Jessica looks at me anxiously. Breezy, it's me. Jessica, it's over. We're safe. I point a trembling finger in her direction. Jessica, no, your body, it's no. I pound my temples with both fists as if to alter my perception of reality, or rather to leave the nightmare and finally return to reality. No, why? We had made it. Jessica moves closer to me and tries to gently take my arm. Breezy, don't worry, it's over, I promise. I push Jessica away with a compulsive gesture as if her putrefaction is contagious. No, please, no. Jessica's inhumanely ravaged face bursts into tears. Breezy, please. Evelyn is dead, You should avoid that kind of premature statement. I turn my head to the melodious. I turn my head to the melodious voice I know all too well. That playful, honeyed, and all at once cruel voice. Evelyn stands a few feet away from us, perfectly unharmed. Her body, her clothes, her face, there's no indication that she was stabbed to death just a few minutes before. I stare at her medallion, untouched. You were dead, that's impossible. Evelyn waves her left hand in a nonchalant gesture as if swatting away an unwelcome fly. Jessica's body immediately freezes and collapses in on itself, just like Dan, as if nature had just claimed its rights over the dead flesh far too long. I stare distraughtedly at Jessica's disjointed body as it lies on the ground. Jessica, she was... Evelyn stares at me in amazement. What exactly did you expect? Of course she's dead. Stifling a tremendous urge to vomit, I straighten up in Evelyn's direction. How we destroyed your medallion. No more magic glow emanates from the medallion whose surface lazily reflects the sunlight as Evelyn moves. This old trinket? Oh no, you didn't think it was the source of my power, did you? Evelyn gives me a particularly condescending look. I mean, Breezy, it was just a little charm, nothing more. I just like the color. No, please, no. I start to cry frankly. I can't take it anymore. It's too much for me. Way too much for my fragile psychological condition. Evelyn approaches me and puts a hand on my arm in a surprisingly gentle gesture. Breezy, when you held me, her face is showing the last expression I would expect from her. Was it just to divert my attention, or did you also want to... Ah! Evelyn freezes as an inhuman scream comes out from my chest. I fall to my knees and hit my temples with both fists. Stop, stop. I can't take this hell anymore.
Breezy?
Kill me. I wanted to stop now. Evelyn's now looking at me with a sad look for some odd reason I can't understand. For a reason I don't care about. I don't care anymore. I just want it to stop. I just want it all to stop. I just want to join Dan and the others. Join them and fall asleep next to them.
Breezy, look at me.
I wrap both hands around my skull and bury my face in my folded arms, my knees still on the ground. I want to die. I just want to die and join the others. Evelyn kneels beside me and gently places her hand on my shoulder.
You really don't remember anything?
I remember the dead, the suffering, the terror. There's more than enough for me. You won. You won everything. We're in hell and you won, so kill me now.
Breezy, do you...
Kill me now, kill me. Evelyn flinches away as if I had bitten her. Her eyes become even sadder and she addresses me in a tone of sorrow.
Do you wish to remember?
I raise the feverish eyes to Evelyn. Remember what? The smell of the dead, your sadistic laughter, your face distorted by cruelty every time you slaughter one of us? Remember what exactly? Remember what? Evelyn looks away. Answer me.
Do you wish to remember?
The blood drums in my skull. I can't concentrate on anything anymore. Remember, I don't understand. I want to know. I have to know. If we are like these two demon lovers from another world, I'll be happy. Cause I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted. How can I not be conflicted? Evelyn, her behavior is totally different. Since I took her in my arms, she's not the same at all. As if there was a reason for this whole nightmare. I want to know. I want to understand why. Why did you do all of this, Evelyn? Evelyn stares at me silently, tears in her eyes. Tell me why. My voice breaks into sobs. Please tell me why. Evelyn sighs heavily, then closes her eyes, placing her hand on my skull. Okay. A misty white veil invades my field of vision. I can no longer see anything but Evelyn. I can no longer feel anything but the warmth of her palm. All my other senses are completely numb. Fatigue, anger, pain. I feel as if I'm wrapped in a thick white coat that brings me warmth and comfort. Evelyn's lips move gently, but I can't hear anything. Slowly, my eyelids close. I feel incredibly tired. With my eyes closed, my mind begins to wander as I gradually lose consciousness. I think that... What? I have like literal chills. I don't know if you can see this. Like I have chills on my arms. This game is just so good. I don't care that it takes out my voice box every time I play it, or that I sound ridiculously stupid while I play this game because I can't pronounce stupid basic words. But this game is so freaking cool. I'm so excited. That is the end of this episode for today. We made a lot of progress, and next time around, I guess we're going to figure out what's happening here because, oh my god. I have no idea. Please, Breezy, trust me. You don't want to remember. What? Please, Breezy, trust me. You don't want to remember. Remember, forget. I don't think I have the strength to do this. Remember. Please, Breezy, I don't want...